ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking back hits, Subscribe, what more things? Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Hot Toys action figure review on Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron movie masterpiece 296 Vision 1/6 scale collectible figure. If you're trying to pick this guy up, you can pre-order him now at Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. Very excited about this Vision figure. I cannot wait to open it. Thought the Vision was awesome in Avengers Age of Ultron. The packaging right here is fairly similar to the other packaging that we'd gotten with the other Avengers Age of Ultron Hot Toys. I like that we do get this texture right over here. Kind of matches his suit, feels like. And then we get the foil Avengers Age of Ultron. We got the foil Vision right there. Then on the back, not much going on. And then on this side, you can see Vision's diamond logo right there. And then on the top of the packaging, it says Vision. On the bottom, it says Avengers Age of Ultron. We get the slip cover. And then you can see the figure right inside. It says Vision again. Then here's all the people that worked on the figure. And they're all related to each other. No, they're not. It's just mostly JC Hong. All right, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Vision out of the packaging. And man, I am very, very happy with this figure. I like it a lot. I think this is actually one of my favorite Hot Toys of the year, so barely any Hot Toys came out this year. That's a stupid joke. But anyway, I really do like it a lot. It's one of my favorite recent releases from Hot Toys. I love the articulation. I can't really complain too much about it. There are some things you do want to be careful with, so it's a little on the fragile side, I will say that. But as far as the sculpt goes, I think the sculpt is great. I love the paint apps. The cape is, there's some things to be desired with the cape over here, and he comes with a reasonable amount of accessories. Now you can see that he's on this stand right here, and he does come with a dynamic pose stand, and he also has an adjustable cradle right here, so you can switch that out if you want to. I like using the dynamic pose stand. I wish it was a little bit higher in the air. It would be a little bit easier to work with. And then when this thing sticks up over here, you kind of get this lump on the cape. But if you kick his foot over, it kind of evens it out, maybe just a little bit. I don't know. But I just love that we can get him into this flying pose. Now looking at the base itself over here, it's pretty standard. There's nothing too much going on here, except we do get a little bit more magenta going on in the center right there. That's unique for Vision. You can see the plaque that says Vision engraved right there. Now the directions don't really give much warning as far as damaging the figure or how to care for it. I mean, they tell you move the head up and down before turning it side to side. That just shows it holding the ulnar, switch the bases, and then it does warn you don't want it to be in sunlight for too long, and don't try removing the suit. Now aside from the base, we get 8 interchangeable hands. We get fisted hands, we get Mjolnir holding hands, relaxed hands, and then these wide open hands, which I'm most likely to have him displayed with for all time. And then he does come with Mjolnir right over there, and an extra set of wrist pegs in case you break any of them, which I doubt you will. As far as interchanging the wrists or the hands go, it's very easy on this figure, and I appreciate it greatly. It just increases the fun factor. Looking at Mjolnir over here, nothing really new. I mean, it's just the die-cast Mjolnir, so it is hefty, yeah, and we get the pleather right over there, so that's pretty nice. And it fits into this hand just fine, so that's very easy to do. Quick Mjolnir comparison, this one is the die-cast one that came with the Hot Toys Age of Ultron Thor, and here's the Vision one, so yeah, they're exactly the same thing. Now there's a lot to like about this figure, and this face sculpt is one of them. I cannot be more impressed by this. I just absolutely love it. I think it's dead on Paul Bettany as Vision. I just think that is spectacular. I don't know if you could see it, but there's that great detail even in his eyes, all those sculpted lines around his face. The Infinity Stone on his forehead looks really good too. It's made out of a translucent plastic. I just think this looks really, really good. I think they did a dead-on perfect likeness of Paul Bettany with this. I just really love it. I just think that looks great, man. And I love the paint too. Now the color is looking a little bit more magenta in person than it is coming through my camera. I have to tell you about that. I do think that the figure overall came out with a little bit more of a magenta tone than I remember seeing in the movie. So that's one of my little gripes with the figure, but at the same time there are images that I do find online where he did look kind of closer to this figure, so it's really tough to tell. It just really depends on the lighting. But it is a very dark magenta color. Like when you see this in person, it's a very dark colored magenta. When posing it around, you might get some rub right over here. I have had some fun posing this, and you could see just a tiny little bit on the back right there, and that's from moving the head upward, so you do want to be careful. Now looking right over here on the body of the figure, this is also very impressive. What I really love what they've done here is that they've sculpted these lines underneath, very much making him look like an android. I love that. The texture of the suit looks really good. I like how we get this nice little magenta fade coming in right here on the sides. Same thing right there over the abs. I think that's awesome. And you get this kind of plasticky kind of line work right in here too. I think that looks just fantastic. I really dig it. We even have some yellow mixed in right here with the red. And then this forearm really reminds me of Iron Man. I was like, oh, there's a hint of Grandpa in here. I think that's pretty cool. And then I did take off this left hand or the right hand right here just so you can see what it looks like without the hands attached to it. I love that the suit comes all the way down to the wrist peg. So it does just make it a lot easier putting these hands on here. I mean, you get a little bit of gappage with that, but it doesn't bother me enough. I still think it looks great. You know, I'm very happy with this. And now his hips do look a little on the wide side. That kind of bothers me. So I find myself, especially if I'm doing like a flight pose, I kind of like try to tilt it in a way so that I don't want my vision looking like he's got big old effeminate hips. Very nice attention to detail throughout on this. So yeah, I really dig a lot, and these boots have some really nice dark paint on them along with the red. I just think this looks really good through and through. Very happy with this figure, and he even has some nice treads at the bottom of his feet right there. And then here's looking at the back of the figure, and the cape does have this bendy wire on the sides, which I really like a lot. And then seeing it spread all the way out, it measures at about 18 inches across. And one thing I really like about the articulation with this figure is that he does have kind of a shifting joint right here in his head. It did pop it off, but if you shift it up just a little bit, you can see that, and then shift it right back down. When you shift it up though, it does help in moving the head all the way up, and I really like that. That's a lot of range of movement right there. You do want to be careful and keep an eye on creating a little bit of a dent right there in the neck though, so watch out for that. You do get a good amount of head pivot over here. God, it's so realistic, it's creepy. And you do get side to side movement, and I do think it's shifted up, so yeah, and put it right back down. And then we do get shoulder articulation, which you want to be careful with. I can see that this is starting to get a little bit stressed in the armpit, so don't really move it up more than this right here. You also get an armpit joint that moves forward and back some, and you can see more of the sculpted line work on the inside of the figure. I really like that. He can move his arms forward. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have double jointed elbows. Now you do want to be careful about leaving this double jointed elbow stuck like that, because if this part of the suit is touching another green part, if you have two separate green parts smushed together for a long period of time, it gets stuck together. So you do want to watch out for that. He has rotation at the wrist, and he does have those pegs that allow hinging up and down. He does have a diaphragm joint in here, so you can turn him side to side. He does have diaphragm pivot underneath there. He crunches forward very far. I really like that. And he crunches back some. He also has a waist joint that turns side to side. You also get waist pivot. Oh no, I thought he had waist pivot, but he does have waist crunching, so you can crunch back and can crunch forward at the waist. Both with the diaphragm and waist joints, you do want to be careful about letting wrinkles build up, like I said earlier. You can move his hips outward just that much. I would not want to push it more than that, or else he'll get his fly open. Oh, I just did it by accident. Okay. Well, it looks like it's hanging on to it, so that's a good amount of movement right there. Still a little bit on the scary side. He has his legs that can kick forward and move back only a little bit. Upper thigh rotation, double jointed knees, as you can see right here. Again, just like the elbows, if you leave this stuck together like this too long, it will get damaged. Then you can also move the ankles down, up. You could rotate them side to side. He does have ankle pivot. And then again, I'd mentioned that he has the bendy wire right here. So you can pose this around any way you like. You can see how it just bends like that. Or you could just do this kind of thing. You want to make sure your hands are clean, pinch it, and then slide down. It'll just like flare out like that, which I think is kind of neat. Now, this being a 1/6 scale collectible figure, you can see that the vision is standing a little over 12.5 inches tall, a little closer to 13 inches actually. And then here's Vision next to Hot Toys Age of Ultron Thor, and then we have the Hot Toys Age of Ultron Scarlet Witch. And you can see that he's standing at about the same height as the Thor figure. I don't remember Vision being that tall, but it kind of makes sense. Then for another size comparison, here's Vision next to Grandpa, and you can see how much taller he is. And then here he is next to Age of Ultron Hawkeye. So yeah, Vision's a pretty tall figure. Then for your Vision comparison, this being the only Avengers Age of Ultron Vision figure that I have, this guy right here is the new Hasbro Marvel Legends Vision, and then we have the old school Toy Biz Marvel Legends Vision. And bear with me if you're not a Marvel Legends collector, but someone gave me me the suggestion of trying to pop this on right here onto Taskmaster to see how that would work. Yeah, that works out better than I thought it would. That's cool. And then here's Vision next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Okay, so let me get this straight. Your grandfather is good but does evil things by accident. Your dad is just full-on evil. And then you're 100% good? I mean, so good to that right after you're born, you're worthy to wield Mjolnir? Man, I just kissed your girlfriend last week and you don't even seem pissed off about it. Whoa, what the hell? Oh! So again, I think this is a good figure. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna say my number one problem with it after doing the whole review and the stop motion and all that is the hips over here. I just feel like his thighs are just way too big. I wish they slimmed those down just a little bit. But other than that, seriously, I really do recommend it. I really like this figure a lot. Anyway, I hope you guys really liked my review a lot. If you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out my last 2 reviews right over there. If you want to support this channel, please check out the Patreon account, link below, and also check out a photo gallery of images over at marvelousnews.com. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Imposing action figures, imposing action figures, imposing action figures every day. Imposing action figures, imposing action figures, imposing action figures.
That's crispy.
Are the same thing.